I actually thought I was going to be an artist. I went to art school for fine arts, printmaking, painting, drawing. But all along the way, I was cooking and working in restaurants, and this was something that I also enjoyed. And eventually, I realized that I wasn't cut out to be a starving artist. The food thing kind of took over, and I began to say, well, let me try to make a career out of this. And then I think it was quite a long time ago. I saw an article in the New York Times, and it was about food stylists, which weren't very well known at that time. And I thought, this is it. This is the career for me. And it never even occurred to me, who made all these beautiful images you saw in books and magazines? It never occurred to me.
They're just sort of there, glistening.
Never occurred to me, even though I worked sort of in a part of the field. Actually, what it led me to was becoming the food editor at Martha Stewart Living.
Which is a huge job.
And food styling was part of that in the beginning.
And the rest was history.
Well, yeah, the rest was history.
I feel like for a lot of chefs, cooks, foodies I know, they developed that interest in it from watching a mom or a dad in the kitchen. Was that true for you, or did you just, as you described, you just knew this is what you always kind of had this yearning to be creative?
Well, my mother did cook, but it's actually not the typical story. My mother actually had a career, so I was a latchkey child, and so I had to cook for my family.
Wow.
So it was actually kind of the obvious opposite of what a lot of people say. I just sort of jumped in because I had to. Mm-hmm. My mother would sort of half prepare the meals, and she'd say, well, do this and that. She'd leave me a little list and, brown the meat and do this and that. And then, so dinner can be ready when I get home from work.
Wow.
It wasn't that much
work.
Why
didn't I think of that with my kids?
But honestly, I think what that did mostly was, aside from keeping me from doing my homework, was just made me comfortable with food.
As a chef, how are you inspired? Where do you get your ideas?
Well, I think I always have my ears, my eyes, and my mouth open. So I see things, I taste things, I